20. Both of those will be closed for interview availability, but we will provide B-roll afterwards if it's available. Hospitality room opens tonight in Presidential Suite 1453. Open from 6 to 11. Dinner will be served from 6 to 7 from Gringos Locos. A popular spot among Orlandoans who have had a few drinks, so it's a great hospitality meal. Hopefully you're receiving emails from us. If you have not received any of the information like itineraries or anything from Sam, see Maddie. Maddie, can you raise your hand over there? And we'll get you set up. If you need it to be going to a different email address, we can make that change. Once we get going, Ray on this side of the room, Cheryl on that side of the room will have the mics, so we'll hand those around. We'll start with a opening from the coaches and then open it up for questions. Tomorrow's first availability is the Day for Kids event at Fun Spot. That's from 9 to 11. That's one of the events that you can take the lift credit for. If you need information about how to use that lift credit, see Maddie. We'll make sure you have all that information. And then tomorrow night we have our media party at Topgolf. Now, we are not allowed to bring the teams in until everybody has finished their Cheez-Its, if you wouldn't mind. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with Iowa State Offensive Coordinator Tom Manning and tight end Chase Allen. Once Coach gets situated, we'll start with an opening statement from you, and then we'll open it up for questions.
How y'all doing? Certainly myself, and I know we're really proud to have the representation from Chase Allen, who is a guy that's played a lot of football for us. We're certainly really proud to be here. We're excited to be here, and we know that we play a very good opponent and a very good team from the defensive side of things. And I think from us having the opportunity to represent Iowa State football, we're extremely grateful and humbled by the opportunity to be here at the Cheez-It Bowl. And with that, we look forward to going out there and doing our best in terms of competing and hopefully finding ourselves in an opportunity to try to win a football game. So with that, if anything you guys have, certainly would love to help you out.
If you could raise your hand, we'll get a mic over to you.
Tom, how do you handle the running back situation? Can Jarrell handle all the carries, or you burn a red shirt, or how's that work out?
Yeah, I think we have to find out. Certainly I think we feel like we have options, but Jarrell is a guy that has played a lot of football for us. Certainly Brees has carried the football a lot more, I think, as we all know, and I think we have to get in the football game and see exactly where we're at in terms of hand the football off and how much we can handle, and then make some decisions based on that.
Sure.
Jared Stansberry from Cyclone Fanatic. What kind of problems do you see the Clemson defense present?
A lot of them. I think not only schematically do they have the ability to attack you in a variety of ways, and from the front end and the back end in terms of those things, but I think you pair that with really good scheme, multiple scheme, paired with really good football players, and really intelligent football players, which I think is really a credit to their players and also a credit to their staff that, yes, they are very, very talented players, but I think that you see that those guys, they can handle a lot. They make very few mistakes. So I think from our end, there's a lot of challenges, and certainly they have played very good defense for a long time there, and certainly that's what we would anticipate.
Good morning. This is David Hood with TigerNet.com. You have a little bit of a wild card. You have a different defensive coordinator. Do you expect anything to change from what you've seen on film? You've got two guys that have really never called plays before. Do you expect anything different, or do you just go by what you've seen schematically from them all year?
Yeah, I think that there's certainly you have to have something to go by, but I think certainly that there's, I'm sure that they've had maybe some of their own wrinkles that they've wanted to put in, and maybe have been some things that have schematically that they're going to change, but I think in a few weeks, I don't know if you can dramatically change everything from a wholesale standpoint. So certainly there'll be elements we think, but also I think we're not naive enough to know that there's probably some new elements or some wrinkles or things that maybe they've done in the past that they would like to focus on a little bit more. And I think that certainly is a challenge for us, is that there are new coordinators that are certainly capable and have been around for a long time and have coached a lot of football. So I think that is a challenge from our end, just trying to figure out what is going on in the football game. I think will be something that we have to certainly pay attention to.
Back on the left, two right back.
This is Scott Docterman with The Athletic. This is for Chase. You've been a part of this program that's really changed the culture over 5-6 years and gone from being what it was to what it is now, and a true contender. This year didn't quite finish the way you'd probably wanted to, but how do you define this year and then this era of Iowa State football, and how do you approach this game mentally in what is your finish here?
Yeah, I've been very fortunate to be at Iowa State at the time I'm here, along with the coaching staff that's been here, my fellow teammates. It's been really a blessing to be here at this time and being able to experience this. And this is I've played over 50 games here, so it's gone by really fast. And from where we came from to now, we've been through a lot of ups and downs. And like you said, this year, maybe we had different expectations at the start of the season, but I can tell you the guys in the locker room still pour our heart and soul into every game and every time we step on that field to make sure we can execute the game plan. So my focus is pretty much on that, and then whatever comes after that will come after that. But I'm just trying to enjoy the time left with my teammates and just send this thing out the right way.
Back up in the front.
Randy Peterson, Des Moines Register, Chase and Tom. Going back to 2019 now here, when you guys were here, what did the Notre Dame game, if anything, show you guys, tell you guys that, okay, we've got to make some changes? So what differences are there between then and now?
Yeah, I don't know if maybe perhaps that game in particular was anything that was, that wasn't the thing I think that felt, man, we needed. From our end of it, that season, I think we felt like, man, maybe we got away from some of the things that I think Coach Campbell always talks about in terms of, the process and those kind of things. And I think maybe we felt like we skipped a couple steps in terms of those, and going to things such as fundamentals and techniques, and making sure that we were still a relationship-driven program with our players. So I don't know if the Notre Dame game, it was more of the culmination of the season, probably than just our experience here in the bowl game. And I think you fast forward to where we are now. Obviously, this year, I think for us, certainly, we've always had really high expectations for our own football program. But I think as we look back into this season, I think you look at the guys like Chase Allens of the world and Charlie Kolar and Brock Purdy, guys like Breece Hall. Man, I think we look back with where those guys have started their career and where they have finished as men and as football players. And I think we're extremely proud of where we've come, probably even from 2 years ago at this time to where we are now.
Yeah, Scott again from The Athletic. This is for Tom. As you just mentioned, Brock Purdy, Breece Hall, Charlie Kolar, Chase Allen, Xavier Hutchinson, on and on. Probably won't be here next year. Maybe one hops back. I don't know. What does that core group mean to this program and to Iowa State football? And secondly, how much of bowl preparation have you shifted to maybe taking an eye on 2022? And who's going to be replacing a lot of those players next year?
Yeah, I think first, the second part of your question, we've always focused the beginning of bowl prep for, maybe what would be coming into the future. It's an opportunity for us to, guys that have played over 50 games in their career, give them a little bit of rest before we have to prepare for the opponent. So certainly I think what is coming in the future is certainly something that we pay attention to and give them an opportunity to develop a little bit, get some meaningful reps in terms of practice. And the guys that you just mentioned in terms of losing them, I think from a schematic standpoint, yes, we lose a lot of production. And I told these guys this maybe the night before we played our last regular season game. Losing this group of players, Brock Purdy, Charlie Kolar, Chase Allen, and the likes, for us, I think it's really difficult to lose those people in your hallways every day. I think that's going to be the biggest challenge in terms of great young men, really fun to be around, really are people that challenge you, I think, to be a better football player if you're on the team and a better coach, if you're on the coaching staff, because they've always been really hungry for it, and they're great people. So for us, losing a big part of the character piece, and all the things that go with it, with those young men, I think that is the challenge of, one, replacing it, two, personally, I'm going to miss them. But we hope that some of the things that they've done has, as they poured into their teammates, has really rubbed off on them, and that we can help maybe grow and take the next step with the next group of guys. But for us, the biggest challenge certainly will be, yes, there's a huge production loss there when you look at the players that you just mentioned. But I think it is much bigger than that in what we have to replace on our football team. And we do feel really confident in the young people in our team. And we hope that they can certainly emulate the guys that we're losing.
This is David Hood with TigerNet.com. Again, it's a question for both of you. First of all, no common opponent, so that you finally find out who you're playing, you turn on the film. Was there any Clemson defensive player that once you kept watching the film, you kept going, yeah, I really like this guy, or he stands out? And then for you, played a lot of really good defenses in your career. Does this Clemson defense remind you of another defense that you've played?
Good, Jay.
I think in their ability to be versatile and their ability to just be very disciplined and play hard, they remind me of all the good defenses that we've played. And I've got a lot of respect for the Mike linebacker, for the guys on the defensive line, as well as like the safeties. I think they play hard and they know what they're doing, and they go out there and execute. So I tip my cap to them, a lot of respect to them, but that's my answer.
Yeah, from our end, I'll be honest with you, I think there's a lot of guys that stick out. And I think that's the challenge. I don't think that there's when you look at their defense structurally, and they can play a lot of different personnels, I don't think there's a weak link in any of the different personnel groupings that they have. And certainly there's a lot of experience, certainly they've had a lot of experience at the Mike linebacker position. I think both corners were first team all conference, and man, are they really good players. And the safety, they're really from top end to the bottom end, I think they're just a really talented group. And like Chase said, I think, man, it's really hard to find them not playing really, really hard. And that's always the sign of a great defense. And I think that's one thing I know when Coach Haycock comes up here and has the opportunity to speak, that's the thing that he takes great pride in, is the defense playing really hard. And that sounds like a really simple thing, but you don't see it everywhere, and you see it every snap with these guys. And on top of that, they're really talented. So certainly, to answer your question, a lot of guys, I mean, everybody stuck out.
Two more questions, go Randy and then Scott.
Randy Peterson, Des Moines Register. Chase, 6, 7 years ago, whatever it was, when you first stepped on campus, go back over that. I mean, your first few days, whatever it was, the accident, for example, and what happened after that, and you're laughing, Tom, and what happened after that? Did you think you'd make it this far?
I think whenever I heard that some guy named Matt Campbell was getting the job here, I really wanted to come play football here, so I didn't really care who it was. And then I just got very fortunate, very lucky when I got to talk to him and the rest of the staff, found out who they were. And then we got there that first season, and things weren't really good. Didn't have a lot of the things that we needed to have in place that we do now. So being able to see that transition, but getting to play against the competition that we've played against the last 3 years, that's what we talked about when we first got here. Like, that's always been the goal and the mission. And every year that expectations within our walls grows. And it's our job as the senior class guys like Brock, Brees, Charlie, like, you guys have been lucky enough to see them as players. We've been lucky enough to know them as people and see the influence they have upon our walls. So it's big, and if we did our jobs correctly, we'll pass that on to the next group, and they will only continue to carry it higher.
Yeah, this is probably for both of you in the same way. And one is, I guess, first of all, the advantages of being able to play 12 and 13 personnel in this day and age. It's been a big plus for you guys schematically. How is that translated to the field? And then secondly, what does Brock Purdy mean to this program? The way he stepped in, I think it was at Oklahoma State as a true freshman, and then has helped coincide with the elevation of the program over 3.5+ years.
Yeah, I think first part of your question, in terms of the personnel, when we first got here to Iowa State, there wasn't a scholarship tight end on the roster. And I think where myself and Coach Campbell and kind of our philosophy of offense has always started around players, formations, and plays. And I think it's our job to find not only what do we think from a schematic standpoint that to make sure that we have enough to be successful in our conference, but on top of it to make sure that whoever your best football players are, having the opportunity to put them on the field and be in formations that help them get the football, and then obviously at the end of it, your plays are driven from those people. And I think as we've evolved, our hand was kind of forced a little bit in the terms of that we had some really good tight ends. And, obviously Dylan Sander the year prior to, and Chase and Charlie and Jared Russ, those guys, they provided us the opportunity to be a little bit different in terms of what happens in our conference. And also we felt that it has been very advantageous for us in terms of recruiting in the Midwest, which is really our footprint. So, yeah, I think it's given us certainly flexibility. And I think we've been very lucky in terms of having Chase and Charlie that can play wide receiver and also play tight end and be multiple in that sense of it. So I think that's always our job, is to find what the best players on your team are, and then how do you find the opportunities to be in the right situations, personnel-wise and formations. And we do, to answer your question, we do feel it is a luxury in terms of offensive football for us, that we can't be in 11 personnel, we can be in 12 and 13, and at other times we can be in 14 and things like that, which has helped us, we feel, be successful in terms of moving the football in a consistent fashion. And the Brock Purdy part, it's really hard to play quarterback somewhere for the extended period of time that Brock has played quarterback. When you come in as a freshman and you play and you've been a consistent person, there's going to be high moments, and there's going to be moments when, it doesn't go so good. And you're going to probably get praise that you don't deserve, and you're probably going to get criticism that you don't deserve. And to me, Brock Purdy, we talk about it all the time, is the one thing that we really kind of hang our hat on in terms of offensive football, in our room is we feel is toughness, and to steal it from Coach Wright from the Colts is a relentless pursuit to get better every day and obsession to finish. And I think Brock Purdy has really paved the way for the young people in our program, and I think probably has inspired a lot of people in our program, whether coaches or younger players. That every day he comes and he is on a pursuit to be the best that he can possibly be. It is the exact same every day. And he's brought a lot of joy to, I think, the people of Ames, Iowa, the Cyclone fans, because that kid has really poured everything he possibly could into this football program. And, man, I know from a coaching standpoint, I got a great sense of gratitude towards him just for his ability to just keep playing and, man, handle all the things that he had to handle with complete grace, humbleness, and great character. And I don't think, anybody that's been an Iowa State football fan for a long time, I don't think that they'll ever forget Brock Purdy and what he's been able to do over his career at Iowa State. And certainly, man, he's had some really good moments. But I think, furthermore, I think just his character, his belief in who he is and never wavering from that, I think certainly has probably paved more for the young people in our football program than anything else. You always feel like the cliche coach moment of, when your best players are your hardest workers, you feel really good. And certainly in Brock's case, he is that guy. So he means a lot to me personally. I know he means a lot to our team, and I'm quite certain that he means a lot to the people of Ames, Iowa.
All right, gentlemen, thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your week. We will move fairly quickly to the Iowa State defense. One note of favor, I guess, for our riser, we're hearing the audio is picking up a little bit of movement as people transition around. We'll try to fix that for next time, but for the remainder of today, if you need to move, just do it between segments. Okay, we're going to get started with Iowa State defensive coordinator John Haycock and defensive lineman Enyi Uwazurike. Once you guys get situated, Coach will start with an opening statement for you, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Well, first of all, I'm very thankful and grateful to, be a part of the Cheez-It Bowl and really what this bowl game represent and what those guys have done. Listening to Steve last night and really being here a couple years ago, watching what they've done, surrounding the bowl site and obviously Camping World Stadium. It's really impressive. So it's great to be here. Our guys are excited about it, worked really hard here in the last few weeks, and really appreciative of being here and thankful and grateful that we have the opportunity.
Hi, Scott Docterman with The Athletic. I guess I wanted to start with some of the core, the seniors that you have on your roster. Guys like Orion Vance, Mike Rose, Greg Eisworth. What do they mean to the program, and how you've changed your scheme really over from the very, very beginning when you came to the 3-3-5, which has been so effective for you, and what do they mean both schematically and just in a leadership perspective?
Well, I think first and foremost, I think they are the secret sauce. The 3-3-5, 3-5-3, three high safeties, whatever y'all want to call it, has gotten a lot of notoriety. The secret sauce is those guys that bought into how we play defense and not so much what we were playing. And I think Enyi's a great example of that. And he's been here as long as we have. And I think that's been the secret sauce, their makeup of how we do things, how they study the film, what they bought into, our vision of defense. It wasn't, I think, as we've gotten into it, defense was not something that was, maybe a high priority in our conference. Everybody was scoring points, or you didn't think you could play defense. And I think our kids, our players took that to heart and bought into the house stuff. And, they meant everything to really what we're doing on defense. They have been the secret sauce. And again, I think a lot of it gets put on what we do. I think the reality of it is how our guys have done it has been what's really been remarkable for me. I've done this for a long time, and they've been as impressive group as I've ever been around.
This is for both of you. Go back to 2019 when you were both here, faced Notre Dame in the Camping Bowl. What changed after that season going forward that made Iowa State football program better, I would say? What changed? What had to change? Both of you, I don't care which one.
Anyone go, or?
Yeah, sure. I'll say after that game, I really think throughout every season you learn a lot. You capitalize from the mistakes that you've made before, and I really feel like that was really the biggest key that helped us grow from that situation that happened in 2019. But I like to say we take, with all our losses, we learn a lesson with them. So it was, a lesson at the end of the day. And, whatever we learned from that game, we took forward with us to prepare for the next season and really helped out. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think really you learn lessons, and I think, as a coaching staff, we had all, for the most part, had come with Coach from, the University of Toledo, and I think we had always done things certain ways, and we had gotten ourselves to the point where we were playing here and playing Notre Dame, and I think we came out of that game and made a lot of changes of who we were, what we had done. We'd always, with Coach, the answer is work harder and work more hours. And we had gotten to a point where we had worked as hard and many hours as you could probably work. And we came out of that game and realized, man, that's not completely the answer either. And I give Coach Campbell a ton of credit. Made some changes, hard changes. And I think we all looked around the room and made changes in our own way. And I think our guys, again, we learned great lessons from it. And I think our kids have responded, and coaches have responded as well.
Good morning. This is for both of you. My name is David Hood with TigerNet.com. Clemson's offense, notable struggles through the first part of the year, maybe even the first 2/3. What changed for them there in the last 3 or 4 games that allowed them to have at least a little bit more success?
I don't know. You'd probably have to directly ask those guys, but you see the change. I think, I don't know. I don't see a ton of schematic changes, to be honest with you, David. I think what you see is, I think the guys maybe got comfortable. The experience, the guys that were playing, was a newer group, those kind of things. But, man, you sure do notice a difference that second half of the season as you're talking about, scoring upwards of 36, 30-some points a game. The ball's going up and down the field, running the football, success running the ball, throwing the football. And I think probably just watching, probably the experience of all of those guys got as the season went along. I just think they improved and got better and better, and were playing – as coaches, playing their best football at the end of the year, and that's what you hope, and that's really what I saw on film.
Jared Stansberry from Cyclone Fanatic. Coach Campbell talked when the bowl game was announced about his connections with Coach Sweeney, and I think that those have been pretty well documented, the work you guys have done with them. Can you just walk us through that from your end, like when you guys got opportunity to work with them? What did you learn from them? What they maybe tried to learn from you?
Well, those guys, again, we were in a new defense, and, when they came up, we gave them a completely different scheme than what we're playing now. So, just teasing. We're the situation where those guys came up and visited with, Brent and that staff, and really kind of looked at what we were doing. And I think all staffs do that. I think, really good staffs do that, try to get some stuff that they can use. And I don't know how much they're using now or not, but really kind of build a little bit of relationship with them through the years, and even with Wes, off the field, those kind of things, and great relationship, to be honest with you, very professional, and we had never gotten down there. I think Coach Campbell had spoke maybe down there, and but those guys came up and visited with us, and I think just a professional thing that you do is coaches visit places, and they came to visit us, and stayed in touch with those guys. Touched base with Brent last week and his new hire, and so that's kind of that was it, to be honest.
Time for a couple more. We'll start with Matt.
Yeah, Matt Marshall, the Orlando Sentinel. John, when a team goes through a coaching change and then it goes through coordinator change as well, do you feel like you have to do anything differently when you're looking, because they're not going to have the same offensive coordinator, so to speak, or they're going to make some changes like that? Do you have to maybe look out for something different, or do you think they'll run a pretty similar system to what they did before?
I think you have to prep for what you see. I don't think you can chase ghosts. I think you do chase some. Obviously we go back through years of film, whatever we can find. But you really have to focus on what you think you're seeing and what you're getting. And for us, because we play a little bit different defense, we do get a lot of schematical things that people have run, whatever, and so we rep those things as well. Things we've seen throughout our season in the last 3 years, really spend time doing that. So not a lot. We don't try to chase too many ghosts. You just don't have time. You have to kind of do what you do. You have to look at what they're doing, what their strengths are, try to pull from that. Look at years maybe of experiences that they've seen, versus your kind of style of defense or whatever. But if you get caught chasing ghosts in a bowl game, it's a long haul. So we try to stick with what we think we've seen and who's doing what they do, and that's what we go with.
Last question, Scott.
Yeah, you've lost 2 defensive backs to the transfer portal. How have you managed to kind of replace that? And then also, I think you have 10 starters right now that are senior level. Whether they go or stay, it's too early to tell. But how have you adjusted maybe practice to try to look at some of the younger players that may have to step in 2022 and beyond?
Coach does a great job. We've spent a ton of time. We get our reps with the ones, reps with the twos, reps with the threes. We've built depth through what we've been doing. So, with some guys, that have moved on, we just kind of move the next guy in and move them over and move them up, and so I don't think it's been a huge change. I think, you spend your time with reps. Coach Campbell has always been a huge bowl game practice, repetitions with everybody, from true freshmen to sophomores to juniors. So I don't think it's changed a lot. I think we stick with kind of the pattern that Coach has got us into since we've been with him as a bowl prep. And so we've gotten a lot of reps. We've had to move some guys over and up, obviously. But most of those guys have all played for us throughout the season.
Gentlemen, thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Appreciate you. Thanks. Thank you. All right, we're going to get started with the Clemson offense. We have offensive coordinator Brandon Streeter, special teams coordinator Mike Reid, and quarterback DJ Uiagalelei. Once we get situated, coaches will start with an opening statement from each of you, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Okay, good morning. Just excited about being here at the Cheez-It Bowl. This is a great opportunity for our program, obviously, and as a coach, as an offensive coordinator, just excited about getting underway with my new position here, and just really can't thank Coach Sweeney enough for this opportunity. Just to be a part of a program that represents a great culture and great character, and just excited about this opportunity, and obviously excited about this game here in a couple days.
Good morning, Mike Reid, Special Teams Coordinator, Quarterbacks Coach. It's an honor, but for me, the standard's the same, different face, players are the same. We're going to go out and we're going to do what we do. It's a great honor to be in this position. I've been here 9 years now, and for Coach Sweeney to elevate me to Special Teams Coordinator, it shows that he has some faith in me as a coach, as a man, as a person, as a mentor to some of the young men. So we're here this week, and going to put on a good show.
We'll start with Matt over on the right.
Matt Marshall, Orlando Sentinel. Brandon, talk about the transition. You mentioned that in your opening comments about getting the elevation up to the position. What's this transition been like, and did you have to do anything differently, I guess, this week going into the bowl preparation?
Well, first off, the transition's been really good. You have a staff of, first off, great people, know how to work and have been a part of this thing. Hiring from within and promoting from within allows you to keep the camaraderie as an offensive staff. And so, as always, though, when you go into a bowl game and bowl preparation, the week sometimes is, up and down as far as the schedule. So you have to get schedules right and be able to be organized with that. And we've done a great job of adjusting to those schedules, and got here a couple days ago and transitioned really well. I'm just really proud of the staff, first off, and then also the team and how they've approached this game and how they have put the work in. And just excited about working with these young men and excited about working with this staff.
David Ho, TigerNet.com. When you look at Coach Haycock's defense, that odd stack, what do you see on film? And then do they remind you of anybody that you've played over the past couple of years with that look?
Yeah, first off, it's a great defense. It's that three safety defense that they do a lot of things, and they do a lot of disguising. And they play very, very well together. They got a veteran group of guys on the defensive side of the ball, and they obviously know what they're doing. So first and foremost, they're a really good defense, and they got the veteran players that have the experience, and so they complement each other. And it's very obvious they play hard. They do really good job at tackling and getting guys on the ground. And so it's going to be a good challenge for our guys. Now, this defense, is somewhat of a newer defense. A couple years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, is when I know our defensive staff actually clinicked with them, and we put in some things that they taught us. And so this defense has been around for a little bit, but it is on the newer side. And so you just got a game plan specific to what you said. That 3 down, that stack look, and that 3 safety look, and just be able to, find ways and find holes, because it looks like there's some holes pre-snap, and then post-snap they're moving, and so we just have to do a great job of our post-snap recognition, and our guys have done a great job, this week of that preparation.
Brandon, Todd, Shaughnessy from the Spartanburg Herald-Journal. The new coordinators are going to be under a lot of scrutiny, of course. How much pressure do you feel to kind of show that it was the right move right away?
Well, first off, I've been in this position before. I've been a coordinator for 6 years and have called plays last year in the bowl game, and then been a part of this staff for I just finished my 7th full year. And so, having that comfort level of being around the people that I'm around, and then them having trust in me, gives me a lot of confidence. So, I think, I just got to do the best I possibly can, and that's working alongside with this great staff that we have. And man, I'm just excited about attacking the opportunity.
Grace Rayner with The Athletic. DJ Dabo has told us that he doesn't think you'll be fully healthy until the end of the season, but just where are you physically with the knee and the finger?
I feel like right now I'm healthy, but yeah, of course I won't be like completely healthy, but I'll be perfectly fine to go out there and play a game to my full abilities. So eventually in the off season I'll get more healthier and get 100%, but right now I feel perfectly fine.
Matt Connolly with ClemsonSports.com. Coach Reid, did you have any opportunities to leave with some of the coaching turnover, and if so, what kept you at Clemson?
Not really. You have opportunities every year. I've been in the game for a long time. I have a lot of friends that are a lot of places. And when you're at a place like Clemson, it's kind of hard to leave, okay? We do things a lot different than a lot of people. A lot of people just base their program solely on winning and not developing. And that's one good thing I love about Clemson, and in the fact that it's a family atmosphere. My family feels appreciated and wanted, and they're around the facility. So for me, it was a no-brainer. Like I said, I love my kids, and when I say my kids, I mean my players. They're like family. And so when those opportunities come, you've got to look at it as, hey, do you want to leave these kids? And I'm not ready to leave my kids, and I'm ready to leave the staff. My kids have been here since 3 and 5 years old, so all they know is Clemson. And for me, it was a no-brainer.
Sam Newman with the Clemson Insider. Hey, Mike, just wanted to ask about your guys, Mario and Andrew. I mean, how has it just been for you to see them kind of flourish and develop into, being some of the best corners in the conference?
I mean, as I said, it's a developmental program, and to see them grab hold of a lot of things that we try to teach them, and for them to use them and every day, it's great. It's like a newborn child. You see them crawl, and then you're there to see them walk, and then to see them take their first steps and run. It's a great feeling. And these guys deserve it. They've put in the work, and now it's coming to fruition.
David Hood with TigerNet.com. DJ, you've obviously worked with Brandon. He's the passing game coordinator, quarterback's coach. What is it like now working with him as the offensive coordinator? And, how has he changed over the past couple of weeks in taking over that role of being the boss of the offense?
First and foremost, I'm excited. I mean, Coach Schrader's my quarterback coach, so I'm real familiar, have a great relationship with him already. So I'm really excited that Coach Schrader's a new offensive coordinator. Excited to get going with him in this game. I know Coach Schrader's going to do an amazing job, and for the most part, it's been exactly the same. Coach Schrader's the exact same person as he was when he recruited me, and then when he was my quarterback coach, when he was a passing game coordinator, and now he's offensive coordinator. He's the exact same person, so nothing has changed. I'm just excited for the new opportunity to work with Coach Schrader.
This is for DJ and Coach Streeter. I just wondered about your reaction to Pumachan leaving. How did you process that in your mind, and then confidence in the backups now?
Well, this day and age with that transfer portal, it's not a surprise, first off. And, I'll say this about Tyson. I mean, what an unbelievable young man he is. Comes from a great family. And, he just felt like he needed another opportunity and another kind of restart somewhere else. And, so I'm excited for him to have another opportunity. My full support. And he did some good things. There's no doubt about it. He's got some talent. So, but man, I feel really, really good about, our backups. I really do. You have a guy named Hunter Helms, and you have a guy named Billy Wiles who have put the work in, number one. They understand the offense, they understand the big picture, and they continue to improve, and they're continuing to want to get better and better each and every day. And so that's the biggest thing is knowing that you have guys behind DJ that can manage it and understand the big picture, and that's what they've been able to do. And so just really excited about those two young guys.
Time for a couple more. We'll start over on the right.
John Blau with the Post and Courier. DJ, you talked a lot about how you had so much faith in Coach Elliott as a play caller. What about Coach Streeter gives you faith in him as a play caller and a coach to kind of lead the offense going forward?
I think the main thing is comfortability level I have with Coach Streeter. Being my quarterback coach, I'm with him every day. And with meetings with him every day, I know his thought process, and he knows my thought process of what the different plays we want to call. So I think from a comfortability level, that's the biggest thing with me is that I have a great relationship with him. So I think the comfortability level is just right there. So I feel like that's the biggest thing that I feel like I'm more comfortable with, sir.
I think that's it. Gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we'll get started with the Clemson defense. We have defensive coordinator Wes Goodwin, co-defensive coordinator Conn, linebacker James Skalski. Gentlemen, once you get situated, we'll start with an opening statement from each coach, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Good morning. Hope you guys all had a Merry Christmas with your families. Just wanted to say how excited we are to be here. Thank you to the Cheez-It Bowl. What an amazing bowl experience. The great weather here, you know, great city of Orlando. Lots going on. Such a great experience for our coaches, our players, and our families, and we're fired up to be here.
All right, good morning. My name is Conn. Again, just to echo the same sentiment Wes had. We've had a great couple of days here and excited about the bowl coming up this weekend. So, really excited. So, thank you for having us.
We'll start up front row on the right,
David Hood, TigerNet.com. I'm going to start with you. Brooke let something slip on a video about somebody named Johnny Carrots. We had Jimmy Green Beans. Who is Johnny Carrots?
We don't know who it is exactly. I mean, it's obviously some Twitter account, but no, they're doing a good job with the humor side of all the changes that's going on. So I mean, we think it's entertaining, and but yeah. So I don't know who you are, Johnny Carrots, but.
Do you guys have a nickname for Wes or Mickey yet?
No, I mean nothing crazy, you know, just good old Wes for right now. But I mean he'll you know, earn one, I guess, as time goes by. But I mean, there's definitely a lot of people with Johnny Carrots or all these other things, but it'll come naturally. So.
Matt Marshall, the Orlando Sentinel. This is for Wes and Mickey. Transition into the new roles. How has it gone for you guys? And you know, getting ready for the bowl game. Was there anything different you had to kind of do to manage your time well?
I'll start it. No, it's been a great transition. You know, a lot of guys, a lot of continuity still. We only lost 2 guys so far, or 3 counting Ted going. So a lot of continuity in our staff. You know the process, know the roles, that sort of deal. So it's just been a great opportunity for us to embrace the new roles and new challenges, and it's been great so far.
We've been doing this together for a long time, and you know, when you look at our staff, you know, we lost Coach V, and you know that's a big piece to lose, but Wes has been right there with him the whole time, his right-hand man. I mean, drawing up every play that we've ever put in, and just and throwing ideas galore. I mean, this guy's got a million ideas, and then I continue to coach the safeties, Coach Reid the corners, you know, Coach Bates the D-line, and Coach Ski the D-end. So, you know, and our support staff is all there. So we work really, really well together, and should be good.
James, it's John Blau with the Post and Courier. Just in terms of the bowl games you guys have played in over the years, obviously being in CFP games, the Cheez-It Bowl, there's no opt-outs. Nobody's, kind of decided not to play in this game. Why do you think there has been that level of dedication from this group going into this game, considering the other games you played in through the years?
I think it's the culture of this team. I mean, you get a chance. We get to play football. We've been in the playoffs and these bigger stages, but to us, I mean, we get to go play a game again. We get a chance to go represent Clemson, represent ourselves, show everyone, what we can do with ourselves. And so I think we all just love playing ball. We love being together. So, I mean, it wasn't even opt-out. Like, what? That's not a thing.
On behalf of the bowl, I appreciate the question and the answer on that one.
Hey guys, Todd Shaughnessy from the Spartanburg Herald-Journal. This is for both coaches. You guys have been doing this a long time, and your jobs aren't really that new, but it's a new level of spotlight and scrutiny. Are you guys feeling that to show something right away?
I'm not trying to show anything different. My deal is I just want our defense to go out there and play the way they've been playing. That's my goal. And that's what we've seen so far in practice, the level of intensity, the level of leadership from guys like Skalski and Nolan Turner. Those guys just bring it. They bring it every day, and I love it. And I know we're going to do a good job putting them in position to be successful. So really excited to watch them play.
Yeah, Scott Docterman with The Athletic. I wanted to ask, in particular, James and Wes, about Brock Purdy, Iowa State's quarterback, the challenges of what he brings to a game, and how challenging, I guess, is the preparation for somebody who's been in the game for 4 years and doing it at a pretty high level.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great challenge. My time at Arizona, you always heard his name being a Phoenix area kid, and just a great player, very accurate, does a lot of things well, big time, plays well in the spotlight, gamer, savvy, he's accurate. Can't say enough great things about him, so it's definitely a challenge for us, and we got our work cut out for us for sure.
Yeah, I think gamer's a good word to describe it. And he just makes things happen over and over again, and then creates, something out of nothing. So, like Wes said, it's gonna be a challenge for us, and we're excited.
Grace Rainer with The Athletic. James, we've heard a lot about Wes's role behind the scenes all these years, but what can you tell us just about his football mind and what it's been like working with him in the capacity that you have?
Yeah, I think y'all just see the big picture, Coach V, and then just everyone else, right? That's how that's painted. But, there's so many moving parts, and, Wes is, how long has it been now? Years since I've been here. He's just been right there, chopping wood, just getting better and better, and being literally Coach V's right-hand man. So I have the most confidence in the world, that things are going to keep going the way they've been going. And I'm really excited for someone like Wes to get this opportunity and then, kind of just show everyone, the kind of coach he is and the kind of, game he's going to call and just play aggressive Clemson defense.
This is for Coach Skalski. Just to piggyback on that, what was the reaction within the team when Venables left? Was there a little bit of uneasiness, or did you kind of know that there was a little bit of security coming?
There was uneasy is not a good word to describe it at all. Every one of us, everyone understands what Coach V has brought to this program in the last 10 years, and it's been great. But everyone's super excited for him, super happy for him. That is his next step. It was going to happen, and we're all very happy for him. But uneasy, no. We were just all excited for the new pieces that are coming in. Now we get to build something a little different, a little new. And I think all the young guys that are coming back are super excited. I know I'm excited to play one last game, led by these guys. And but no, not 1 ounce of uneasiness.
Last call for questions. You're two on the right.
Wes, I know you talked about you were happy, when there was the buy-in from the players and nobody was, going out the door, once Coach Venables left. How have you seen this team approach kind of this bowl week and, And do you feel like they have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, or want to kind of have one last great performance this season, I guess?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, everyone's bought in, been a great week of preparation, week and a half. Great energy every day, great focus. You know, everybody's came to work every day with the mindset, the right mindset, right focus, and it's been real fun to see.
Last question, David.
Yeah, David Hood, TigerNet.com. I'll give all three of you a chance to answer here, but start with you, Wes. What were those first few days like for you at practice, and how long do you feel like it took you to maybe just kind of settle in and get in the flow? And then for Mickey and James, what have you seen out of him at practice and handling this job so far?
Yeah, I mean, it just getting back out on the grass was special in itself. You know, that's why we do this, to be on the field with our players. And to have the opportunity to get back out there, you know, my time at Clemson so far, other than a couple opportunities here and there, have been in a support role. But, you know, I've been out on the field many a times. You know, I got a lot of on-the-field experience. So it was like getting back in the saddle, per se. So just picked right up and started rolling from there.
Yep, I'll take it. Yep. So as far as watching Wes coach, it was no different. Wes is very humble, and he knows his lane, whatever lane that is he's supposed to be in. And when he was given the reins to take control, he's taking control, and he's drawn up the plays. He's controlled and signaled those plays. He's been very aggressive and very confident in coaching his players and getting them ready, and hadn't backed down at all. So I saw a guy who's very confident and ready to go. And he's definitely been prepared for this moment.
Yeah, I agree. I think the structure, you know, of like the method of how we get ready, I mean, that's not really changing. But, you know, how you're coached, of course that's changing because we have a new coach. And but it's been nothing. It's been great. It's been really cool to see him do it his own way, and it's been even cooler to see a linebacker room, just speaking with my guys, completely buy in and want to play well and want to play hard and want to get it right for them. So I can't wait to play. I can't wait for all of us to show up and put on a show. So,
gentlemen, thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like I said at the top, we will distribute recordings and transcripts. If you're not receiving emails from Sam Gardner, then see Maddie up here in the front corner of the room. We'll make sure you get on the distribution list. Hospitality room opens at 6 o'clock tonight. Dinner served at 6 from Gringos Locos, and we'll see you next time.